Hi guys, today I'd like to talk to you about Schadenfreude. Now, if you don't know what Schadenfreude is, it's a German word which basically means taking pleasure in the misery and suffering of others. Now, morally it's not a good thing to derive pleasure from watching somebody else suffer or watching somebody else fail, but occasionally I'm overwhelmed by a feeling of Schadenfreude and I'd like to share my recent experience of it. I've been stuck in bed for about a week and a half with the flu. I've been very, very ill. I've not been able to do much. But when I started to feel better the other day, I decided I'm going to go out and treat myself. So I decided to go to my favourite cafe, order myself a lovely big cup of coffee because I hadn't been able to have any for a few days because it kept making me cough. So I thought, definitely going to enjoy this. So I went to my local cafe, ordered my favourite cup of coffee, sat there and watched it. It was being beautifully made, and just as I sat down to enjoy it, somebody came in with this little child. This usually spells doom in the cafe world because children are rarely well behaved in cafes because the universe just isn't that kind. This woman had a 2-3-year-old child. The boy was absolutely psychotic. He was running around, he was knocking things off tables, he was screaming and wailing and carrying on like an absolute lunatic. Normally, a parent would actually somehow try to stop this from happening by, I don't know, yelling at them, threatening to spank them, or just picking them up by the hand and taking them outside. But this woman seemed to have been medically, I don't know, sedated? Because this is basically how this transpired. This child was running around like a lunatic and her response was, "Billy, don't do that. Billy, the man doesn't like that. Billy, that's not nice. Billy, 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 Billy." After about 10 minutes, me and pretty much everyone in the cafe wanted to kill Billy and then hold Billy's mother down and tie her tube so she couldn't create any more Billys. But the woman still sat there and did absolutely nothing to stop her child from running completely riot in this cafe. Now, there's not a lot you can do. I should note that I do like kids. I think they're great. But what I really hate is when kids are allowed to run absolute riot and the parents do nothing about it. There's just no discipline whatsoever these days. But once again, Schadenfreude came to the rescue. Eventually, the mother got sick to death of the noise, obviously because she was getting a lot of bad stares from the people in the cafe, and Billy probably was getting on her tits as much as he was getting on mine and everyone else's. So she decided to pick him up to take him out of the shop. However, at the point of picking Billy up like this, Billy vomited all over her head and into her open mouth. Now, you shouldn't take pleasure in the suffering of others, but for some reason, on that day, when I saw that woman swallow a large mouthful of her own child's vomit, I started to feel a whole lot better.